Alrighty, it is 11 a.m., so let's go ahead and get started. Good morning, and this is Mike Dutter with the National Weather Service in Wakefield, and hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving Day, and let's go ahead and get started on the weather briefing for the next week, covering through the middle of next week. The first main thing to consider for this weekend is how into the next week are how cold the temperatures are going to be. Much below normal temperatures are expected, really starting today and especially this weekend and into next week. And in fact, temperatures will struggle to rise above 50 until really next Thursday. Today we may see some lower 50s, but in general, temperatures will stay in the 40s. In fact, some lower 40s tomorrow are expected. During the daytime hours, really cold Arctic air mass filtering into the area. And the low temperatures are going to be in the low to middle 20s, although there will be some teens expected, especially Tuesday morning, maybe even Monday morning as well. However, even with all this cold weather, there really is not much of chance of precipitation for the next 7 days. There is a chance of light rain or snow showers next Wednesday night, and I don't have it in here, but there could be a couple flurries, especially across the eastern shore, the Maryland eastern shore, maybe the middle and northern peninsula. Saturday night into Sunday morning. A few, again, maybe light snow showers or flurries, but again, nothing accumulating is expected for the next 7 days. So really, other than the cold temperatures, really pretty quiet, at least across the land areas. Marine weather. Small craft advisories are in effect for the entire coastal waters through tonight, and northwest winds are going to increase with that cold air coming in with gusts up to 30 knots by this evening, then diminishing to 10 to 20 knots on Saturday, and those will persist right until Tuesday. And seas of 1 to 3 feet today will build to 4 to 6 feet tonight, 2 to 4 feet in the bay, and then they're going to subside back to 2 to 4 feet for the weekend into early next week. So let's go ahead and take a look at the weather pattern. Again, this broad high pressure that's extending out of Canada and extending into the middle Atlantic will really be in control for the next week. You can see there's a lot of snow showers, lake effect snow showers in the Great Lakes and even into the mountains of West Virginia and Kentucky and even into far Western Virginia through the weekend. But again, for the most part, we are going to stay dry. Again, there's this little frontal system and trough, even though it's not showing in this weather map. It could bring a few light snow showers or flurries again on Wednesday night into Thursday morning. But again, it does not look of anything of consequence at this time. Total precipitation. Again, you see this little bit of precip up here into Maryland. I mean, that may extend a little bit into the eastern shore and northern neck, but again, that's going to be very light if it occurs on Saturday night and Sunday morning. Otherwise, other than some light snow in the mountains of Western Virginia, it's going to stay dry for the next 7 days. And here's those temperatures I was talking about. Again, maybe some 50s today, but you can see the bottom really drops out on Saturday. Highs only in the 40s across the entire region on Saturday. A little bit warmer on Sunday, but still below normal. Maybe some 50s right close to the coast in northeast North Carolina. But again, drops back again for Monday and Tuesday into the 40s. We have these series of weak little just fronts coming through that just reinforces the cold air. They're going to stay dry, but just reinforces that cold air. And then finally, maybe by the end of next week, Thursday, we might see some temperatures getting closer to normal, but still below normal. And look at these low temperatures. Many 20s, mostly in the 20s through the week, except right close to the coast. And again, even some teens, especially Tuesday morning, but even Monday morning as well. And very low chances of precipitation until next week, in the middle to the end of next week. So for the marine threat potential for the next week, again, this orange shows small craft advisory type conditions, and you can see for today into tonight, it's pretty much our entire coastal waters area. We start to see it diminish some on Saturday. This is mainly, these orange areas are mainly for Saturday morning. And again, through the week, we may see some winds continuing close to small craft advisory criteria in the bay of 15 to 20 knots. But in general, for the next 5 days, after tonight, we should be seeing northwest winds, again, 10 to 20 knots most areas. And here are the maximum winds, wind gusts to the left and the maximum wave heights to the right. Seeing those 30-knot wind gusts potentially tonight into early tomorrow morning across much of the coastal waters. And these seas, again, will build 3 to 5 feet over the ocean and 2 to 4 feet in the bay. But then they will start subsiding as the weekend goes on. And here is a quick look at the marine forecast summary, just showing those peak wind gusts here this evening into the overnight hours, and then subsiding and quite frankly, staying pretty consistent of, the wind gusts around 20, maybe 25 knots at times. Again, that's maximum wind gusts. And notice how the winds generally stay out of the northwest or maybe on the west out of the west on Sunday. And these waves heights, again, focusing on late this afternoon into tonight, and then subsiding and generally 2 to 4 feet over the waters, open waters, and 1 to 3 feet in the bay. Unfortunately, we will not be helping our, without lack of precipitation, our drought conditions really whatsoever. Notice that, we continue to be in this extreme drought across parts of the Maryland Eastern Shore, and as well as a moderate or severe drought across much of the peninsula, northern neck, as well as pretty much the majority of the rest of the Eastern Shore. The whole area is under some type of drought conditions right now. And that, again, unfortunately, is not expected to subside, at least over the next week. And speaking of the later next week into the following weekend, we're going to see those below normal temperatures favoring through the next weekend, actually. The pattern has set up now to where we're going to keep these below normal temperatures in place and with normal chances of precipitation. So, cold and, perhaps some showers or, some rain next, at least chances of showers next weekend. And one last thing I wanted, now that we're getting into this cold weather, I wanted to remind everyone that we have changed our cold weather headlines for this season. You're not going to be hearing about wind chill advisories and wind chill warnings anymore. You're going to be hearing cold weather advisories and extreme cold watches and warnings. And the criteria has also changed for that. Now the criteria is solely based on temperature, the coldest of the temperature or the wind chill. And for our advisory criteria across Southeast Virginia, the Eastern Shore of Virginia, and well as Northeast North Carolina, it's plus 10 Fahrenheit. And for the interior parts of Central Virginia into the lower Maryland Eastern Shore, it's plus 5 Fahrenheit for the cold weather advisory criteria. And for the extreme cold watch and warning, the extreme cold warning criteria, it's 0 degrees Fahrenheit for Southeast Virginia, Northeast North Carolina, and 5 below for lower Maryland Eastern Shore into Central Virginia. So just a reminder, we're not expecting these temperatures next week, but just a reminder as the winter goes on that this is our new criteria for cold weather advisories and extreme cold watches and warnings. And so that's all I have. So I'll be happy to take any questions now if you have it, and I'll answer them. Just go ahead and type them into the question bar. Otherwise, have a great holiday weekend.